Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. I thought I would pop on because I am getting ready to have an essential oil one-on-one class and a membership overview with someone, and I wanted to make something fun, but I wanted to use essential oils, and I wanted to make something super easy because let's face it, I am not Betty Crocker, that is for sure. So what I'm doing today is I'm making some dill infused veggie bars. And what I did is I already baked my, if you can actually see it, I don't want it to fall out because I actually already made sure it wasn't sticking. So all I did was used a package of croissant rolls, and we like to use everything organic. So there are companies out there that have organic everything. I believe the one that we use is, hang on, I'll get, well, I think I ripped it out, but I like to bring my garbage can over here anyways because then I'm not like having everything all over. What is this called? Well, it has you rip off the whole thing, but, oh, it's Annie's. It's Annie Organic Crescent Rolls. Okay, so this recipe actually calls for 3 of those, and I just wanted to make one batch. So what I've done is I have a conversion chart that shows me how to convert everything over to 1/3. All right, let's see here. So this is a cold hors d'oeuvre, and it has veggies in it. And you can choose whatever veggies that you want. I like to use whatever I think is like basic because not everyone likes the same vegetables as me. So I'm using shredded carrots today, green onions, and 3 different kinds of bell peppers. The shredded carrots, I bought them pre-washed, but everything else I cut up myself just because the carrots are a little bit more time consuming. Looking for my conversion chart. All right, let's see here. All right, so what I'm gonna do is, let's see, this recipe calls for, well, basically what I did is I baked my I guess what you would call like your bars, and you want them to cool completely. And then after that, what you're gonna do is you're going to mix together the toppings. So you need something first to actually layer over the top of this before you put those toppings. So this one calls for a 1/2 cup of mayo, and we like to use Veganese. You can use regular mayonnaise if you want, but to be honest with you, this actually tastes really good. I started using it a long time ago, and I'm not even vegan, but it makes it convenient because we have a lot of friends that are vegan, so whenever I'm making something for them, I know that they're able to eat it as well. So what I'm going to do is, let's see, 1/2 cup of mayo. And so a 1/2 cup of mayo in thirds would be 2 tablespoons and 1 teaspoon. So I have a tablespoon here, and I'm going to just get just like that. And I always make sure that I don't have any contamination either because I think it's gross. All right, so 1 1/2. Let's see here. So I have my mayo there. All right, so the next thing I need is my sour cream, and it's gonna be the same thing with the sour cream. We like to use the Greenwise organic sour cream, but again, you can use whatever you want. I try to use everything organic just to keep it clean, because when you're using essential oils, one of the main reasons why I like to use them is, for one, that I don't have to have the herb on hand or whatever it may be. But I also like that there is no synthetic properties. There's no artificial or diluted alcohol. It's basically everything is, it is organic. That's basically what the description of organic is. All right, so now I'm going to use for sour cream. And I'm going to do the same thing. I don't want to screw this up because okay. Told you I'm not Betty Crocker for anything. My husband is usually the one that does like most of the cooking. And it's because when he was growing up, he wasn't allowed to go in the kitchen. And so now he loves it. This is actually his kitchen. I mean, I clean it just because we all know that our husbands don't clean as good as we do. Just putting it out there. But, all right, so I have those two things. I'm going to stick these in the refrigerator. And then I'm also going to grab my cream cheese. Now, my cream cheese, I, again, use organic. But what I do is I take the cream cheese and put it on the counter probably about maybe a couple minutes before I'm actually making the bars themselves, so that way it becomes soft. You don't want it too soft, but you also don't want it runny. All right, I need my kitchen scissors. All right, so I'm sticking it all in together. See, if I can do this, anyone can do this, because honestly, I really don't even like to cook. I think the main reason why I don't like to cook is because I don't like my kitchen getting dirty. But I'm one of those people that I'll live off of salads and, you know, grilled chicken. I can grill it on the grill or whatever, and then just kind of live off that all week. But unfortunately, my husband is a meat and potatoes kind of guy, and he doesn't go for that. So, all right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix all of this up. And it doesn't look like my cream cheese is soft enough, which I was... Oh, man. See, I told you. Yeah, it's not soft enough, but we're gonna make do. Who cares? We're gonna figure it out. Because I can also chop up veggies and all that until hand. So let me try to get this as soft as possible, and then I'll set it aside, and then we'll chop up some veggies. Alrighty, let's see. Okay. When you're using essential oils for cooking, the one thing that you want to make sure is, because especially doTERRA's oils, they're certified pure therapeutic grade oils. So you don't need a lot. A little goes a long way. So whenever I'm cooking with oils, I basically do the toothpick trick. And what I do is I take my oil and stick the toothpick in the very top of it and swirl it around in whatever dish I have going. Now, if it's a hot dish, I do it at the very end, because you don't want to cook the properties out of that essential oil, because you definitely want to get the benefits from it. And there's so many different benefits too. Whoops. All right, let's see. It's getting a little bit softer, so... All right, so I'm going to set this aside and let this like soften up just a couple minutes, because I think a couple minutes is going to make a big difference. And I'm going to cut my veggies up. Now, for my veggies, because I'm just making like, you know, a small little hors d'oeuvre for everyone. Let me put these away. I like to use the organic mini peppers because they come in a little bag. And whenever I'm using organic, I still make sure that I clean them and dry them, just because they could be contaminated with pesticides from other fruits and vegetables that were in the market. So instead of you know, doing my basic you know, adding my water to my sink and putting a couple drops of lemon essential oil and letting it soak for 30 minutes and then going through all that, when I just have a small amount of things, I basically can just use my On Guard concentrate, and I just spray it, or even like an On Guard spray that's diluted with distilled water. I just spray it all and then just take my hands and kind of like wash all the pesticides or whatever it may be on them and rinse them, dry them completely, and then I'm ready to cut. So I'm going to cut these up. And I try to just, I'm trying to make these as small as possible as far as what I'm putting inside, or what I'm putting on top, because they're going to be bite size. Alrighty, pretty simple. Almost done here. I know a lot of you have actually had this before, but not with essential oils. I think they used to call it the veggie pizza or something like that, with the croissants. I know I've had it before somewhere. I think when I was in Princess House or something. I used to be in a home party plan for, I don't know, about 20 years here and there, and we had lots of events, and we would bring little different dishes and stuff like that, and I know that this was something that was brought. I never brought it myself. I was the girl that brought donuts. No. Yeah. Not gonna lie. Alright, so I'm gonna chop all this up. Usually I like prep all of this beforehand and do it, but because, and I almost cut my nail. I just cut my nail. Oh well. I literally just cut my nail right off my hand. Alright, let's see. So I'm just chopping these up really, really small. Alrighty. Too much fun. This is also a great idea to use for parties, or now that summer's coming up, you know, you need a dish to pass if you're going to a barbecue. This is something that most people probably wouldn't even think to bring, and it's super, super easy, and it's inexpensive, especially if you're buying your fruits and your vegetables. And speaking of fruits, you probably could do this with a fruit if you used cream cheese, and I think I've actually known people to use cream cheese and sour cream, and then like what is it, that fluff, and then just put your, you know, maybe berries on top of it, something like that. But I wanted to do a veggie because the person, or the two people that are coming here, I always ask them if they have any dietary restrictions, and they'll point out, they know how I eat very healthy, so they'll tell you, I like everything but fruit. And so they basically, well, one of them I know likes everything that I like, but the other one is not a fruit person, so I thought I would just make this instead. I wanted something healthy, just because she's coming right from work, and I don't want her to be hungry and not feeling good. And I also do this because I don't want them stopping to get fast food and bringing it into my home, because I cannot even stand the smell of it. So this way it makes it much, much easier for both of us. All right, so I'm gonna set that aside. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cut up my onion while I have this out already. All right, so my husband was nice enough to do these already for me. I probably don't need too much of this. I'm just going to use maybe a couple of these. Yeah. We like to use a lot of Pampered Chef stuff. I'm trying to get away from any kind of plastic and just stick to glass. But there's still a few things here and there that I'm using. I just make sure that the plastic is safe, and that whatever I am eating doesn't get contaminated by the chemicals that are in the plastic. Oh, these are going to be big onions, so I'm going to have to cut these like a lot smaller. Gotta be careful. This paring knife, it's a Pampered Chef one too. And if people don't think these are too sharp, they are, because it literally, look at that. It took my nail off. All right. So I got all that. And I'll make sure that I post this recipe as well, so that way if you want to try it yourself. And I don't have to cut up my carrots. Yeah, I hate cutting carrots up. And we usually buy the big bunch of carrots, the organic ones, because we don't buy like the little, the midgets, because I've read a lot about them, and they're not even ready to be picked when they're picking them. So this is a lot better. This would probably pair good too with like meatballs. if you did something like if you were having like a little party or something, you could do something like very simple like this, and maybe like a crock pot of meatballs, and then just the rest like chips and dip and that kind of thing. And that would be enough, really. All right, so I'm gonna bring this back over here. And, oh, yep, it did make a big difference. Still not perfect, but that's all right. I don't want it to be where someone takes a bite and they just get like a whole big block of cream cheese in their mouth. That would be disgusting. So, I'm just gonna keep at it. Yeah. I thought about doing this for like Cinco de Mayo, because we always celebrate Cinco de Mayo, and I was thinking about having like a little get together with my church friends, but my husband said with my foot, I'm not even supposed to be on my foot by the way, but I literally can only have it like up for so long, and then it does start to bother me. So I've spent like most of the morning with it above my heart, and I'm having a hard time sleeping at night because I'm doing this without any kind of pain medication. But what's keeping me up is having my leg up. It's just not comfortable for me. All right. And I actually got this recipe off of an essential oil book. Grab it. It is Simple Cooking with Essential Oils. The author is Casey Hansen. I believe I got it on Oil Life. She had a class that I took online because I love doing podcasts and just going online classes. I like to do a lot of online classes myself, and I'm going to start doing more live and kind of intertwining that into my classes themselves. I do a lot of classes that has posts, and the reason why is because I feel that most people's attention span is not that long. So I kind of break it up, and then I just like put the posts in numerical order. So that way they can refer back to it whenever they want, or, if they're not able to attend the class right at that time, as long as they RSVP going, then they can refer back to it whenever they want, because I don't delete the events. Let's see, my next class I believe is Essential Oils for Thyroid. That seems to be like a really hot topic. A lot of people suffering from like adrenal fatigue, and there's oils that can actually help you with that. And I'm also doing like a summer essentials one too at the end of the month, because for the people that can't make it to the workshop on Sunday or Saturday, I think it's Saturday, May 11th or something like that, which I'm hoping to go, but I'm not sure if I can because my church pastor is having the Mother's Day tea, and her daughter is away at school, and she's going to be in town, so I thought I might go just because I know it would mean a lot to her. All right. I know everyone's getting sick of looking at me just stirring, but all right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my dip. Now for this one, I want to make sure I don't put too much in. It's a whole package. So I'm not going to put the whole thing in. I'm going to put, I think I'm going to put like a third, or like maybe I'll put half. No, that might be too much too. I think that's good. All right, so I like to keep this on hand too, because I can take Greek yogurt and just like plain Greek yogurt and add dip to it, and then I have a high protein dip for me. My husband doesn't care for it too much, but I like it. All right, so this is really getting How many of you have made this before, or have been to a party and they've had this before? Basically the same concept. Jeez Louise. Hey Patty. Hi Jimmy. Hi, Liz. Isn't this funny, Liz? I'm actually cooking. Most of my friends know I hate cooking. It's not the cooking part. It's just that I don't like a messy kitchen. I have better things to do with my time than to clean my kitchen. And whenever my husband actually cooks, he cleans the kitchen too. So, yeah. I hit the jackpot on that one because most husbands, they don't do both, but I trained them well. All right, so I got that going. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my essential oil. And I happen to have this was an oil that they had a couple years ago in a kit called, I believe it was Summer Sensations. And I have a lot of it left over because I don't use it that often. So what I'm going to do is the toothpick. Basically, I just take the toothpick, just like that, make sure that it's wet, and I just swirl it around in whatever I have. The reason why I do this is because especially some of the cooking oils, I've heard like oregano, I've heard of people making like homemade spaghetti sauce and putting too much oil, and it's so overpowering that it ruined the spaghetti sauce and nobody wanted to eat it. And that would be devastating in my house because especially we make everything homemade and organic, so I would be devastated if I spent all that money and then like couldn't even eat any of it. All right, let's see. I think we are almost ready to spread it. And once I spread the topping, then I'm going to put like all the vegetables on top. Haha, yeah. I know, me too, Patty. I wish they would, but you know, they come up with so many different oils, especially like, oh, dried beef dip. Never heard of that. Yeah, they do have a lot of really good cooking oils though. We used black pepper over the weekend. We did a international food and culture festival, and my husband made his homemade street tacos, and I have the most amazing recipe using black pepper. I've also had avocados with cilantro oil in it, tomatoes, garlic, just like you would make, you know, homemade guacamole. And then I just added a little bit of cilantro and it was yummy. All right, so I think it's ready to spread. Let me grab my spreader. Let me make sure it's dry. All right, so basically what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna spread this all over here. A little bit at a time. Don't wanna make a mess. I want it to be thinner though. I don't want it to be like a big glop. And hopefully they're not getting a big bite of cream cheese, but if they do, it is what it is. My husband will eat this anyways. He doesn't care. So I'm spreading it evenly. And then once I have this all spread and I put the veggies on it, then I stick it in my refrigerator covered for up to an hour, at least an hour before you're gonna serve it, because you want to make sure that like all the flavors infuse together. All right, halfway there. Ooh, a men's make and take spice rub. Yeah, I need to do that. You know, I need to do a men's make and take one of these days, but I don't know. I need to get out of my comfort zone, because the last time I tried to do a men's online, I had men in there that were making some pretty bad jokes. And if you're a wellness advocate, you know what I'm talking about, because what the essential oils, some of them are made for in the men's make and take. So it was a little awkward, just because a lot of the men were ones that I went to like high school with. And I was one of those people that really didn't date anybody in my high school. I did when I was in 10th grade, if you want to call that dating. But after that, I didn't date anyone in my high school. Too complicated. Alrighty. Almost done. Actually, I think this made like the perfect amount too, because alright. Hope this turns out pretty. I don't want it to be one of those meals that it's only like it tastes good, but you know, it doesn't look good kind of thing, because that's not what I'm going for. Alright, I think we're about ready to spread the vegetables on. And I can tell that they are. I hope they like cream cheese, because there's still like a few little chunks there of cream cheese, but oh well. Alright, so set this aside. And I'm going to start my toppings. So I think I'm going to start out with my carrots. The carrots I'm probably going to have to cut up a little bit more, just because they're strands. Got to be careful I don't cut my finger off. Jeez. Alright, so just doing a little bit, because I want the flavor there, but I don't want it to be like overwhelming. And it's crazy because like usually when I make like pasta salad or anything like with a lot of vegetables in it, I have to make big, huge, I have to cut everything up in like big bites, because if it's, my husband hates black olives, he hates cherry tomatoes, he hates pretty much like almost all vegetables. I'm surprised like I got him to eat the ones that I did. He doesn't eat cucumbers. It's ridiculous. Like, I don't even, how could you not like cucumbers? But I think it has something to do with the acid or something like that. He'll eat like salsa because it's cooked, or like spaghetti sauce, but not, he won't have like a cold fresh tomato. I'm like, he doesn't know what he's missing, because who doesn't love a fresh tomato, especially like if you have a garden? Alrighty, let's see. How is everyone? Let's see. Aw, it will be beautiful with the rainbow. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Liz. What are you spreading it on? What's the base? You missed that part, Liz. It's actually croissant rolls. I actually showed everyone. I had them already baked and cooled. Otherwise, you guys would have been sitting here while it was baking, and it had to cool completely before you could do this. But yeah, croissant. And I was telling everyone that I use the Annie's organic, so that I'm trying to get it as clean as possible, because these are processed. All croissant rolls have to be processed at some point. So unless you're making it like the base completely homemade and you're Martha Stewart, but I do try to cook with as many clean ingredients as I can. I honestly don't even do the Dirty Dozen, whatever. I just get all organic, and that's only because I have an autoimmune disease and I just don't want to deal with it. Because it literally, like, I get it's almost like I get adrenal fatigue, I get sweats. There's so many things that go, it's almost like menopause if you think about it, but I'm not in menopause. Been there, done that. All right, let's see. Almost done with the carrots, people. Almost done. You know, I never even thought of it, but like I could have did black olives on here too. That would have been really good. I love black olives. Black olives makes everything better. Coffee and black olives. Those are my favorites. I could sit there and eat a whole jar of black olives. Ha! Shut up, Lee. That's alright. Alright. So, let's see. I think I have way too many peppers. That's alright. I can just put them in a little container and have a salad. Whenever I go grocery shopping, what I normally do is I make a menu of like that week what I want to do, because I don't like to have the same things all the time. Not bad. All right, let's put some of the onion on. I think black olives would have made this look really good. Ooh. A little bit too much onion there. Whew. All right. All right, I can clean this later. I will show you what it actually looks like without it tipping out. I hope I can do this. Ooh. See how pretty it is, guys? Yay. I'll take a picture of it from like above and when I have it cut up and how I actually serve it. So thank you guys for joining me. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my saran wrap. I hate saran wrap. It's supposed to be kept in the fridge, I heard, so it doesn't stick, but we very rarely even use it. And we don't buy aluminum foil at all anymore. Jeez. Everybody, let's watch Susan fight the saran wrap. Alright. Oh my gosh. This is a disaster. Isn't that ironic how I actually could make the entire menu, the entire recipe, do really good, and then like it go to wrap it, and that's when I'm having difficulties. Imagine that. All right. Put one more sleeve in there, and we will put it in the fridge. And let's see. Ooh, it's 4:36. I got to go, people. My people are going to be here in about half hour. So thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good one.